it takes an extraordinarily strong personality and someone with real conviction and courage to stand against a tribe, especially if it is a tribe that they're largely associated with.
Yep.
So if you are on the right, if you're conservative, it's okay. You can deal with all the crap you're going to get from the left as long as you have the support from
the right,
the people on the right and the conservatives, right? Same the other way around. People who are, hey, I'm a progressive, and they can deal with whatever blowback they get from people on the right, those nasty conservatives that they don't like anyway, as long as they have the support there. But when you take that, if you stand in the middle of the road, you get run over, right?
Yeah.
And you're now getting critique from that side and from that side, and it can hurt more. It almost always hurts more when it's from people who you are more associated with or who you share more values with or who you were previously associated with. So in your case in particular, you went like super pro MAGA.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was your for several years. I mean, you had MAGA albums, right?
Well, so it was, but I view MAGA as different. So
yes.
Like
but most people don't.
Yes, they don't. So I'm gonna compare it to me and my homie Forgiato Blow.
Okay.
Like Forgiato Blow is very Trumped out.
Yes.
He's just Trumped out. I can't name a song where he doesn't mention Trump. You know what I'm saying? But that's really how you feel if you know Forgiato Blow. Even if you listen to my earlier songs, it was all based on Christianity. Like Gun Totem Patriot, I didn't mention Trump's name once in my verse. It was about policy, it was about things that was going on. But I did say MAGA, because I view MAGA as a movement, and I thought the movement was bigger than the man.
Yeah.
What's funny is I actually tweeted that, and everybody agreed.
Yeah.
They agreed during the time.
Yeah.
But then when push come to shove, I realized that, no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that the hard way. But I've always been the type of person where it's like if I'm well researched in it and I'm informed and I'm making an actual decision based on something that's real, then a million people can attack me. I genuinely don't care. Like, people don't realize before I even went viral, I was already popular where I'm from, and I used to get attacked on. It used to be me versus 30 people on the Facebook comment sections in my city. And I wake up every day, I post something on Facebook, everybody get mad, but they still looking though, because the people like to get mad for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm gonna stand on my 10 regardless. You know what I'm saying? But even when my early stages of MAGA, I'm talking policy. I'm talking about why I'm voting for Trump rather than I'm voting for Trump. Is my values are here, and this is why I'm MAGA. Even in MAGA stepping, Gun Tone Patriot. My song, one of my first viral songs was called "Save the Babies," and I said make abortion illegal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying the same thing since the beginning, and I thought that Trump represented those things in the beginning. But it was always my values brought me here, not Trump brought me here. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I think just the term MAGA itself.
Yep.
If you were to poll, I'd imagine 90% of people, not just in the U.S. but worldwide, they just totally associate MAGA with Trump supporter, and that's
of course
as simple as it is.
They just think
of the hats, they think of the red, the white on the red.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like even in the Vice documentary I did, they asked about MAGA, and I was like, you know what I realized? There's two MAGAs. And I was like, you have the MAGA, you know what I'm saying, that put the faith first, and then you have the MAGA that's just do whatever you want to do.
Cult of personality.
Yeah. And then even since then, I'm like, man, I was wrong there. It's really, even the people you think are more like, you know what I'm saying, values first, now they're really Trump first. Like MAGA is Trump's movement. There's no way around it. Trump is who you think of. Trump is what it's about. And it's
hard as well because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Let's be real about it. I mean, if you want to make money and you want to be popular and you want to gain certain types of followers, then the easiest thing is to pick a side and be ride or die for that without deviating. That's the safest, cleanest, easiest way to do it. Because because the thing is, if you upset that audience, then you're likely to lose their support. Unless you do a complete 180, you're not going to start gaining support from the people you've been attacking and criticizing for all the previous years. So then you're just in this sort of no man's land where, you keep a remnant of those people, but other ones turn against you. And like I said, man, it takes true faith and conviction. It's not something that most entrepreneurial or business-minded people or just average people would want to do.
Yeah, because it's not the best move financially and things of that nature. That's literally where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So like I had the MAGA followers. Every time I drop the song, it'll go number one.
And right now, you'd be primed right now at this moment.
Oh, come on.
Man, just be dropping the anthems.
I'll be at the rallies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is the Trump campaign, if people remember in 2020, I was actually a part of the Republican National Convention.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And because they pulled me out there. So in politics, they have like influencer lists.
Yes.
People that they think will help the campaign look good. I mean, you know this. And they'll prop up these people. So I was a part of that group of people for Trump in 2020, which is why they showed me during the Republican National Convention. After I shot that, they were getting contracts together because they wanted me to perform right before Dominant Silk came out at every rally. This is going to be at every rally, right? Then they called me a week later and wanted me to apologize to the LGBT Trump supporters.
Oh, interesting.
And I just laughed at him. I said, do y'all know who I am?
Yeah.
Like Bryson Graham apologized to the LGBT for Trump. Have you lost your mind? You know what I'm saying? I told them, I said, I'm not apologizing. And they said, well, we can no longer, you know what I'm saying, push you. I said, that's fine. Because if y'all have a plan to go this way, and I'm not going this way with you, I understand it. But they really did. They stopped working with me. I thought they were going to still hit me up for a few things. No, they literally stopped working with me. And I was like, I can respect that.
What was it specifically they wanted you to apologize for? Because I know you got a lot of stuff out there.
So it's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So they were already going back and forth like there's a gay Asian dude in a right wing movement, super gay. I think he has a partner in crime who he calls his husband, but that should be illegal. So I call him his partner in crime. He in a wheelchair, and they like super rich. They fund.
We don't need to name any names, but okay.
Oh yeah. You know me. Yeah, I can name it. I don't remember his name for real. I'm glad I don't. I would have said it. But they fund a lot of stuff. And he was sending people my lyrics to my songs. You know what I'm saying? Which is ironic because a lot of people that was working for Trump, they listened to my Christian music, so they weren't surprised. Yeah. But they didn't think it was good for optics. So Candace Owens had a live stream, and she said, "Trump is not homophobic. Stop saying that. He supports the LGBT." And then I said, I wish he was as homophobic as everybody thought. That'd be lit. And they screenshotted that, all the homosexuals with the MAGA hats on. Yes. They screenshotted that, and then that was like the breaking. You know what I'm saying? That's what really made them say, Bryson, you're going too far. Too far. And I said nope, and they stopped working with me. And then ever since 2020, it's 4 years later. 4 years later now. I mean, there's been many moments I've lost 8,000 followers, 10,000 followers in a day. Yeah. For criticizing for
losing 10,000. What did you say to lose 10,000 in a day? Most I've lost in a day was about 3,000. So
for curious.
Real? Yeah, that was when I first openly made a very pro-life comment.
No, so I had a concert. So I was already criticizing Trump, and at this point, I think he had just hosted the LGBT gala at Mar-a-Lago in 2022, and I was like, yeah, Trump got. This might be the end for me supporting Trump. And people were just unfollowing me like crazy. So then a lot of the influencers, this was funny. I was booked for a concert in Florida that DeSantis was supposed to speak at and Trump was supposed to speak at while they was beefing. Okay. But you know how politics is, who cares? And I was performing and Forgiato Blow was performing. You know what I'm saying? And we told him beforehand. I said, listen, I criticized Trump. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know, I criticized DeSantis too. But clearly I'm very conservative. Yep. And it was like, we don't care. They started we released the flyers. They got hundreds of phone calls from Trump supporters. Yeah. They said a few people in Florida came up to their office.
The office of the organizers of the show?
Yes, okay. Yes. And they said, you have to remove Bryson.
Wow.
Yeah, so they removed me from the show, and it made me sad because they also removed Forgiato Blow.
Okay.
Forgiato Blow me and him have a difference of opinion there, but we're still friends. And so they just removed both of us, bro. And they removed it because of the pressure. And then a lot of Trump supporters got online and bragged about getting me removed.
So you got canceled from was it like a conservative sort of concert? Was it like a MAGA concert sort of thing?
It was not a concert because it was speakers too.
Event. Okay, so you got canceled from a conservative event for being too conservative.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last thing where I lost 8,000 on, that was Twitter. I lost 8,000 followers in a day on Instagram, because I said Trump is really not that much different from Kamala as y'all think on social issues. He just isn't. And then I was showing the clips of him saying certain things and how he switched, and I was showing and I was showing the statistics on many things, and people were getting so, like, I don't know, on Instagram, they were so angry. And I thought people are used to this because I say it in my music.
Yes.
I mean, me and Tyson James, we have a song called Trump Is Not My God. You know what I'm saying? It's been out for a year. Yeah. So I thought that people already knew, but you can never underestimate the people that are shocked to hear certain things.
No, and you have to remember that most people don't hear most things.
Correct.
Even genuinely avid followers. First of all, your algorithm is probably only going to show an average post to maybe 10%.
Less.
Yeah, 5 to 10% of your
Yeah.
audience if you have pretty strong engagements. And then, people aren't like online 24/7. They're not seeing every single post. They're not listening, certainly not listening to every single song that comes out there.
Yep.
And so I think for some people it can be like something happens. They remember you from a certain time period and remember certain songs and certain things you put out there. And then some months or even years might go by where you're kind of on their peripheral, like they know who you are, and they see the odd post. And then they see something else going viral, especially, and it seems like a complete 180 from what they saw before. And they haven't filled in this, like they haven't kind of come along on the journey. And now they're just confused. They're just like, wait,
confused, yeah.
And that's when they'll even start accusing you of like
grifting.
Grifting, or
you use Trump.
Yeah, so you took money. They'll start saying you took money from
you
whoever,
took money from, and I'm like,
you're just like, what are you?
I literally donated $1,000 when I didn't have money to Trump in 2020. Like literally,